A very good day to all of you. In the lesson today, we are going to learn how to do citations and references. Citations and references are important in academic writing. So when you are writing an academic essay, reports or articles or journals, it is always important for you to have citations, and in the end of your article you need to have the list of the references. So citation is very important because sometimes when we are writing, we don't always have our own ideas and opinions. So sometimes we'll take the ideas or the opinions or sentences from the internet, from other sources like books, magazines, or newspaper. So when we take ideas and opinions from other sources, and when we want to put them in our assignment, in our academic essay, reports, or articles, we need to give credit to the original source. So we need to give credit to the person who came out with the ideas or the opinions, the person who wrote the sentence that we take and put in our academic writing. So in academic, citation is very important to avoid plagiarism. So if you take the ideas without citing the original source, you are committing plagiarism. You are plagiarizing, and plagiarizing is a serious academic offense in which you'll have to avoid. So if you are submitting your assignment with a lot of cut and paste from other sources in the internet or books in the library, it will affect your marks because you have a lot of ideas and opinions from other sources without citation. So that means you have committed a theft. So that means you stole someone's idea and put in your academic writing or your assessment. So citation is very important, and in the end of your article, in the end of your writing, you have the references to say where the citations come from. So now let us take a look at how to do citation. So normally when you are writing an academic essays, you have a lot of points. So when you mention your points, you will always need to support your point. For example, if you say something, you need to support your opinion with other sources from the internet, for example, or from any related books. For example, if I say a lot of college students are gaining weight. So when that is my assumption, that is my opinion. So let's say when I put it in my writing, I say the first reason of weight problem among students is because a lot of students like to eat fast food or like to go to fast food restaurants. So that is my assumption. When I have my assumption, I need to support to make it stronger, so people will trust me more. So my essay will be a lot stronger. So when I say college students are gaining weight because of fast food, I need to support my point. So I go to the internet or I go to the library, I find a book, I look for any factual information to support my opinion. So let's say once I have Googled, I have gone to the internet and look for citations to support what I mentioned here. College students are gaining weight because of fast food. So I found an article in the internet that says it is true. Because of and there are some data, some percentage to support what I say. So to support my statement, I say this is true because according to the Ministry of Health and the year the article was published, perhaps 2018, more than 30% of public university students agree that they are gaining weight because they like to go to fast food restaurants. So when I have the citation like this, my opinion will become more stronger. So people will believe me more. So it is important to have citation in our academic writing to support our opinion. So that is one example. So it can be any institutions, could also be a person. So let us take a look at one more example. So let's say in your essay, in your academic essay, academic writing, you say you are talking about sleep is important. So you say one of your points is having enough sleep is important because it is proven that lack of sleep can be linked to many health problems. So this is what you say. So if you want people to believe you, you'll have to cite. So you have to go to the internet, you have to go to the library, read newspapers or magazine, look for any related data or percentage or explanation that can support what you say here. So once I've gone to the internet, I've done some research. I found some evidence to support what I say, that having enough sleep is very important, because if you don't have enough sleep, you can have many health problems. So after I did my research, I found an evidence that I can support my opinion with. So I go to the internet, look for there is this article, lack of sleep linked with depression, weight gain, and even death. So what I did is I found one evidence to support my assumption just now, my point. So it says here, overall, short sleepers were 40% more likely to report symptoms of distress compared with people who got adequate sleep. So this can support what I said just now in my essay. And this article is written by this person, Meredith Melnick, from the year 2010. So what I do is I go back to my article, and then I cut and paste the one that I got from the internet just now to support what I say here. So this is what I say: having enough sleep is important. It is proven that lack of sleep can be linked to many health problems. So this is what I got from the internet just now. It says that it supports what I say, because it says that people who sleep less were 14% more likely to report symptoms of psychological distress on a standard test compared with people who got adequate sleep. So When you take from the internet, it is best for you to paraphrase. Paraphrase means you use your own words. You don't just cut and paste, but you use your own words, um, but you maintain the same meaning. So the meaning is still the same, but the way you write is different. So to avoid plagiarism. So this is the original text from the internet. It says like this. So when I paraphrase, it becomes like this. So this is after I have paraphrased. Same meaning with the previous one from the internet, but the sentence is a bit different. So it says this is because sleep deficiency. So I say short sleepers, people who sleep less. I change to sleep deficiency. So same thing. More likely will increase. To report symptoms of psychological distress. So will increase one's chances of suffering. So distress becomes suffering, psychological becomes emotional. Suffering, emotional pain by 14% as compared to normal sleepers. Here it says compared to people who got adequate sleep. So I find synonyms. And also I change the structure of the sentence a bit. If you have listened to the previous video on paraphrasing, there are certain ways on how we can paraphrase. First, we change from active to passive or passive to active, and then we change to the synonyms as much as we can. We change the sentence structure. For example, one sentence, you can make it into two sentences, or two become one sentence, or 1 to 3 sentences, or 3 to 2 sentences. So there are a few ways that you can do to paraphrase. So paraphrase itself is not enough, because this is a specific idea that you get from someone else in the internet or from a book. So what you need to do is you need to cite. So like this one, we have put the citation according to the Ministry of Health 2018. And this article is written by Meredith Melnick from the year 2010. So what do we do is we put the citation. So we say, according to Melnick. So when we cite, we don't take the full name, we take the family name. So the family name is Melnick, or we call it as the surname. So if it is an English name, we have a surname. The surname is the second name or the third name. So like if I say Michael Jordan, so Jordan is the surname. So we say according to Jordan. So according to Melnick. So the name is Meredith Melnick. You don't say according to Meredith Melnick. You say according to Melnick and the year the article or the book was published. So according to Melnick 2010, this is because sleep deficiency will increase one's chances of suffering emotional pain by 14% as compared to normal sleepers. Or you can also put your citation in the end of the sentence like this. So when it is in the end of the sentence, everything is in bracket. So the surname, comma, and the year in bracket, and then you put your full stop. You'll have to make sure your punctuations are correct. If it is wrong, it will affect your writing. If the citation is in the beginning of the sentence, the name is outside the bracket. No need to have comma. So the name, bracket, the year, and close bracket, and the citation. If, let's say, you have two names, the article is written by two people. So what do you do is, according to, let's say, we have two names, Meredith Melnick and also Michael Jordan. So you say according to Melnick and Jordan. So you don't say Michael Jordan, you just simply say Jordan because we take the surname or the family name. So like that. But if it is the citation is in the end of the sentence, same thing, but the spelling end you change to ampersand or the symbol. So Jordan 2010. So now my point has been strengthened. So my point is having enough sleep is important, and it is proven that lack of sleep can be linked to many health problems. So when I put it here, my point here, so this is my point, and this is how I support my point. So now my point is stronger because I have a support. And how do I support my point? I look for the sources from the internet or a book or any other articles, journal articles, and I cite the source to support what I say here. So that is citation. So you can put it in the beginning of the sentence or in the end of the sentence like this. But you have to make sure your punctuation is correct. So now let us take a look at if let's say we have more than two people. So if more than two people, if there are more than two authors or more than two writers, what we do is we put et al. In the name. So for example, if there are three people, so we have Meredith Melnick, Michael Jordan, and also David Beckham. So we don't say according to Melnick, Jordan, and Beckham, but we say according to Melnick et al. 2010, because there are three authors or more. So the same goes to the one in the end of the sentence. So if there are three authors, you put et al. Full stop, and then comma, and then the year it was published. So that is the rule when you are doing citation. So the format that we follow for citation is APA format 7th edition. So you can go to the internet and look for APA format 7th edition, and you have to make sure when you do your academic writing or essays or assignments, you have to make sure when you have citations and also references, you follow the APA format 7th edition. Next, quotation. So let's say it is not encouraged, but let's say if you want to cite but you do not want to change anything. For example, having enough sleep is important. It is proven that lack of sleep can be linked to many health problems. So this is your point. And then you want to take from the internet exactly without changing anything. For example, this is the sentence. So you cut and paste. Then you put it here. So let's say you didn't change anything. Yes, you can, but it is not encouraged. It is better if you paraphrase. So if you do not want to change anything because perhaps it is a quotation, something that you cannot change because it will distort the meaning, what you can do is you can put the quotation mark like this. When you put a quotation mark, it is also required for you to put the page number if you have the page number. So for example, page 12, and then close bracket and full stop, and you have a space here. So P for page, full stop, and the page number. So this is if you do not change anything. So you take it exactly like from the original source. But it is encouraged if you have paraphrase, so that is better. So the same goes to here. So everything in bracket and page 12, for example. If you have many pages, if there are more than one pages, so PP and page 12 to 13. So you have double P and full stop space 12 to 13. So the same goes to this one. So these are the rules that we have when we do citation, and it is very important for us to adhere to these rules of APA format 7th edition. Also, there are many ways of saying, like according to. So not necessarily you have to say according to. You can also say as mentioned by Melnick 2010. You can also say as reported by, or you can also say Melnick, for example, 2010 reported that something. So there are many ways of saying. Claimed. What else? So there are many ways of saying. You can also say agreed that, declared, or suggested. So there are many ways of saying. So as suggested, as agreed, as declared by Melnick 2010. So there are many ways of saying. So that is all about it regarding citation. See you again in the next video on how to do the reference list. Thank you.